Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Sports Wrap. I am your co-host Frank Walsh, along with my usual partner in crime, Michael Wigdor.
Hey Frank.
And as you can see, we have a very special guest with us today. For those of you who watch Talkin' Tunes, we are blessed with a musical legend here, someone who is one of the original founders of the Boston Blues Society, the front man for Boston Baked Blues Band. We have the pleasure, Mike, of being here with the great Vinny Serino.
The great Vinny Serino. Hi, Vinny.
And
to have you
not
on the show.
not only is this guy a great musician, but he is a rabid and passionate Patriots fan and sports fan. So, Vinny, welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome
Pleasure.
aboard.
My pleasure.
You know,
We're glad to have you because, especially, I mean, I've seen your Facebook posts, and you could tell that the passion comes right out on those.
Oh yeah, I follow every move they make, and I feel obligated to make my statement about the Patriots every week before and after the game, and it seems to get a lot of traction out there. So
well, you have a lot of followers.
Yeah, I've created quite an audience, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, I love your little slogan that you came up with today. I mean, it's an honor for us for you to be on the show, but you have B, B, and B, all in one day, you know?
Well, BB&B was the Boston Baked Blues. That's what we did on the first show today.
Yeah.
But now we're doing BB&B again.
Yep.
Blues, Brady, and Belichick. And I said it's a perfect storm of my two favorite things, blues and football, Patriots football.
Yeah.
I'm blessed today. It's a great day for me to be
We're
here
blessed
with you
to have
guys.
you. So why don't you
you.
give us a rundown of your take on the Patriots in general? Pick anywhere you want to
Patriots in
start
general.
and just kind of break it down a little bit.
Okay, I'm just quickly recapping from the beginning of the season. Nobody really knew what to expect.
Exactly.
We didn't know who was going to be playing quarterback, and I followed every torturous day of that ridiculous fiasco with Mr. Goodell.
Oh yes.
Trying to do that witch hunt with Tom Brady, and you got to say, our boy Tom, he handled himself with such class. He's a
Now,
class.
doesn't that seem like a million miles ago?
It seems like a million miles ago. And actually, I heard a couple of announcers saying the other day, for 3 or 4 weeks they talked about it, but that's all disappeared. Nobody talks about it anymore.
No.
And as each game went by, it started to become the revenge tour of the Patriots and Brady. And they were focused. Tom was laser focused from the get-go.
I think. Don't you think that that is actually their motivation this year?
Absolutely.
I mean,
why wouldn't it be?
He did them a favor because, he's going to. It's like he's showing the league that I don't care what. You can give me a beach ball, and I'm still going to kick your butt on everybody.
It's funny. I mean,
they haven't even mentioned that all year.
Nobody's talked about the pressure on the football this year.
I know.
Nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, not one person. I don't think they've even measured one football a year for all that crap that they.
I know.
At least not that we know of, anyway.
Well, I heard announcers talking about just the other day and saying, we don't have any indication that any footballs have been measured.
No.
So anyway, they just went along their way.
Yeah.
And they put together a formidable team. It was quite surprising, quite frankly, in the beginning.
It was.
But as you watch them, it's like, my God, these people, how do they do it? Obviously Belichick is brilliant. His coaching staff is brilliant. He's got great coaches between his defensive coordinator, what's his name? Matt Patricia and Josh McDaniels on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, you put those three guys against anybody. Belichick.
You know what's great about them is that they game plan for every team they play.
Yeah, every team's different.
A team cannot watch their film and go, hey, this is what they're going to do next week, because they don't.
No, and that's the element of surprise is important.
That's right.
So they're sitting here now at 10-2, and I thought one of the reasons why you had the Brady shirt on is that they were auditioning for players.
That's correct.
We thought that you might have stopped by and away from Foxborough
I was a
as you were
gifted
trying
receiver
out.
back in high school.
It's like
they're ready.
I mean, if you look at that team now, and especially the nucleus of that team now, as to where they were when the season started, I mean, they're doing it on fumes and. What's your take on that?
It's impressive. I mean, all they talked about is, next man has to step up and do the job. The next man. I mean, that's an amazing mantra to have. I mean, next man up, and they just keep moving forward. And they've pretty much done it. But you get to a point of diminishing returns at some point.
Exactly.
And that, how many receivers can you lose? How many linemen can you lose? And I mean, the third or fourth guy in the tier. There's no way they're going to.
That's what made me nervous actually about that game they just played last week because
I was too.
We didn't know what their offensive line was going to be like.
No.
And they had J.J. Watt coming in, even if he was injured, he still had that club.
Yep.
And they completely neutralized him.
They neutralized. It was amazing. It's like
nothing.
But you see what they did. Josh McDaniels came up with these blocking schemes for the line, the way he did it, and they take their strengths and make it into a weakness. These guys are bull rushing forward and cutting this way and that way, and they just kind of like taking different angles on him.
I know. And double teaming him and triple teaming him.
I mean, people think this is just like a bunch of gorillas out there, smashing into each other and throw me the football type of thing. But there's a lot of intelligence involved in that game.
Well, just to learn the playbook.
That's right.
How many great players have come and gone through Foxborough and Belichick that did last maybe they'd hire
like Chad
a great player, and the next thing you know he's gone. And a lot of the times he can't read the playbook, he can't understand it, can't fit into the sophisticated offense that they have.
No, it's amazing. I mean, Kenyon Martin has done a really nice job, and
he has.
Ocho Cinco couldn't do anything with it. But he's done a nice job, and he caught a nice touchdown pass last week, and he did a nice whatever it was, sweep around the corner.
I like him. He's a good little player.
He's a good player. It's good that they have him.
Yeah.
They are losing now. I mean, looking forward, they're losing. They lost Blount.
Yeah, I know.
And they're auditioning, I guess, the last I heard today coming in was Steven Jackson. And so, I mean, if he could still run,
he's got over 11,000 yards under his belt, so it's not like he's a rookie. I mean, he knows what to do with the football. I know he's 32, but I guess that's old in football running back years, but what?
I think that they're looking for him, basically just to get a few yards, get a couple of yards. The guy's a downhill runner,
right?
And I think that they're just looking for him to avoid the run on the first down and have 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 12 where he loses yardage. Just get the ball up and get the momentum going forward. And I think that's all they're looking for because without their regular running game, they have to rely on the passing. They have to.
Well, that was a good thing about last week. I mean, if you looked at the plays, they actually did one more running play than passing play.
I know.
It was
that's a rarity. That hasn't happened in a couple of years.
No, and they were saying that's the kind of balance that they're going to need going forward. Because for one thing, Brady didn't even get. I think maybe got sacked once or twice. But there was no hurries. There was no rush. And he got rid of the balls really, really fast. They said in that game.
And that after the last two games, I mean. When I watch the games, I'm planted at home in my garage so I can smoke a cigar and have a beer.
Have a little blues.
My TV is right on my desk. It's not the biggest TV in the world. It's only 28 inches high, high def, but 28 inches when it's about 8 inches from your face, it might as well be a 66-inch screen.
Okay,
exactly.
It's like the best seat in the house with my eyes. It's perfect. And I sit there and text with my three brothers, one from New Jersey, one from in Connecticut, and the other one's in Chelmsford. And we text the whole game back and forth, and everybody's complaining and getting aggravated. And we go through every game like this, really tense over the game.
Yeah,
so
I do like a happy hour too.
Now, we've gone from a 180 to a 360 over the last couple of weeks, when they lost the two games, which they could have won.
They could have.
The first one they should have won, even as depleted as they were.
That's right.
And then they lost the second game, and all of a sudden the 180 becomes, oh my God, are they going to, they go from first seed, third seed, and then they're looking at the schedule, they're looking at their team. Then all of a sudden they go back and do the full 180 in last week's game.
How
do you see the schedule going forward, how they have to play, Vinny, with this game coming up against the Titans?
They're not a good team.
They're not a good team, but you know what? In this league,
any team.
The difference between a bad team and a good team is incremental. You know what I mean? On any given Sunday, a bad team can turn around and surprise you if you aren't.
You should coin that phrase. I've never heard that
before. Any given Sunday.
You should coin that. You heard it here first, folks. Vinny Serino, any given Sunday. But you're right, though. I mean, you're right. You can't drop your guard.
And Brady, I can tell you right now, Belichick and Brady and those boys don't give anybody, cut them any slack. They know that there's always a chance that somebody can be prepared. Because everybody prepares for the Patriots like they're the Super Bowl.
Right, that's the champion.
Every game is our Super Bowl against the Patriots.
And not only that, though, there are only 3 games left now.
Yeah.
So every game is big, and they're right now sitting at the first seed. If they keep winning, if they win out, they have no problem about getting buys.
Yeah.
Getting a buy. A buy is going to be key.
We can keep Edelman on the bench, which would be sweet. I mean, he's going to be back.
Maybe sit Gronk down and sit, some of the other players down in the last game. If the Miami game
had
doesn't
to sit
mean
Gronk
anything,
down.
that'll
It's
make
like trying to sit a dinosaur down.
I know.
But
Gronk.
maybe they will. You never
Gronk,
know.
do you think like
or Brady? I mean, don't be surprised if they sit Brady down half the game. For the second half, and if it means nothing.
Yeah, as long as we're up 40.
But the thing of it is, you can see how important Gronk was in that game. I mean, without him, do they win that game even? I mean, he gets
There
open.
was a lot of question. You know what? The
I
question isn't just in our mind.
Yes.
I think the question is in the players' minds too. Because I heard a very specific remark that one of the athletes said from the Patriots, when I think it was Slater, when Gronk steps into that huddle, everybody feels better. They feel like we can do this.
Exactly.
He makes them feel like they can win every time he's in. They know they get Brady and they can win with him, but you get Brady and Gronk.
I know.
We're good. It makes the guys play. There's people that make you play better.
Right.
Even like in music.
Yeah.
I can play with 5 guys and sound pretty good, but I can play with 5 guys that make me play better. And
Absolutely,
we can be
they push you.
Terrific. It just elevates. You can elevate your game no matter what it is when you're around the right people.
You're
Absolutely.
Right. And besides, he takes the pressure off the other receivers as well. Not only just is he a great receiver, but they got to cover him. So that means they're going to have Amendola may be open.
Yeah.
LaFell may be open. He opens up so many things. He's almost like, the opposite of Brady as on the offense. He's the guy that makes the ball actually go down the field more than.
I was going to say he's the the opposition's nightmare because look at the difference in some of the game plans and the schemes against the Patriots when Gronk wasn't there.
Right.
And then you put Gronk in there.
That's right.
It completely changes the whole game plan
thing.
for the other team.
Just think of what it was like for an opposing defense facing Gronk, Edelman, and Amendola, and whoever else.
And then their running back, coming out of the back.
Dion Lewis.
Coming
Those
out of the
4
back.
guys, if they had stayed intact, we'd be undefeated.
We would be.
And we'd probably go right to the Super Bowl, relaxing all the way in because those guys,
amazing.
Where did they come from? That combination is just amazing together.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's your boy Belichick. I think they have to drink the Kool-Aid. They drink the Kool-Aid.
That's right.
And Belichick has them in shape. And when you work for Belichick, you play with his rules or you're gone. I mean, he'll cut you in a heartbeat if you say, look at,
it's pretty interesting.
You say the wrong thing,
true.
you open your mouth, and I mean, look what he did.
We could
with,
use Jonas
Welker.
We could use Jonas Gray this week. To be honest with you, no matter.
That's right. And he just signed on with the Jaguars, I guess.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, he's staying where
he is.
But
the thing about Dion Lewis is he's just a great. People don't give him enough credit for really knowing players.
Yeah.
Because this guy was out last year, he was hurt.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like a superstar.
Yeah.
He just picks right up.
And who'd have thunk with Malcolm Butler?
I know.
Nobody
Another
knew his
guy.
name until he made the catch, the interception. Now look at him now. I mean, the guy's a madman. He's been great.
Have you watched him cover people? I mean, really, watch this guy. I mean, he's like perpetual motion.
All over the place.
He never gives up.
All over the place.
It's amazing. It's like, where do you get that kind of energy? It just blows my mind.
It's amazing, I know. He gave up one pass early in that game, and after that, he blanketed that guy.
Yeah, well, everyone's going to give up a pass. I saw Jarrell Revis get shelled a few times this year. It just happens.
Yeah,
I mean, these are all professionals, but I mean,
you got to give the other guy credit too for making a play. You know?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's sometimes you can blame the defenders, but it's really not the defender. It's just you give credit to the receiver ducking and dodging and getting out of the way.
I don't know. It makes you wonder. He lets Jarrell Revis go last year after the Super Bowl.
Right.
They didn't want to pay the money. I get it. Then they just let Browner go, which is like, really?
Yeah, I know.
And then they let the other guy go, Arrington, go.
I know.
And it's like, what is this guy thinking? But he's no dummy.
No, he's not.
He's brilliant. I mean, he sees things that we'll never see.
Exactly.
Well, the thing
He
is,
sees things that head coaches
true.
of professionals never see either.
It's true.
I mean, he's got Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan is playing
Logan Ryan
really
is
good this
great.
year.
Logan Ryan's been.
But last year he wasn't that good. He just got better.
Yeah, well, they coached him up, and
That's
he's got
right.
Butler and Logan Ryan.
That's right.
I don't think there's a better combination in the league. Maybe some equally good or almost as good, but
That's what I
none that
read.
are any better. You know?
No, that's what I read. I read that their cornerbacks are not a problem this year. They're really strong. Their defense has been really strong.
And Patrick Chung, they bring Patrick Chung back. I mean, Patrick Chung was a royal.
Yeah, he was a
bust.
pain in the fanny. Yeah,
A pain in the fanny when he was here before.
Yeah.
He was.
Used
He
to
couldn't
watch
cover
him.
anybody.
Comes
was
back,
good.
he's a monster now,
Yeah,
and
he is.
McCourty and him, and it's like,
I know.
and they get backups to those guys, and
Yep.
it's crazy. It's insane. And then
It is.
the linebackers. I mean, Jamie Collins.
He's
Are
a
you
beast.
kidding me?
He's a beast.
What did they? My daughter met Jamie Collins in
Yeah.
a bar. Can I say this on TV?
Sure.
In a bar room when she was going to BU. She goes, I met this guy and played for the Patriots. I said, what's his name? She goes, Jamie Collins. I said, really? I said, how big is he? She goes, he's huge.
Oh.
He's like way up here. I said, wow. Yeah. And she goes, I said, was he a nice guy? She goes, he was kind of weird, Dad. He said, you don't have to go to college. Nobody has to go to college. Don't waste your time in college. You can make money other ways. He's a professional football player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, time is flying by.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think with what's going on, what's your take about this controversy with Brady and Trump?
Yeah, I know, really.
Which seems to be taking on a whole life of its own.
Look at that. The Daily News printed that.
That was the funniest thing I ever saw when I saw
Me
that
too.
this morning. Are you kidding me? Do they have anything better to do?
I know.
I mean, the Daily News really has a problem if they need to do that to circulate their papers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
They've been all over Brady anyway. You know, with the
right.
trial.
I saw one
and the
comment on a
Deflategate and all
tweet
that.
about the Daily News. He said, you know, this reminds me of the old days when we used to get Mad Magazine, except Mad Magazine at least had some good content in it. It was a great tweet.
It was like they're so desperate for a headline.
Yeah,
I mean, for God's sakes, the guy said something very innocent on Dennis and Callahan that Trump's a friend of mine, I support all my friends, and then they come out with this thing that says Brady has no balls on the headline, and you know, Trump's his guy or something like that. You know, give me a break. You know,
I'd like to answer Frank's question because I do have an opinion on my take on that.
Okay.
I think no matter what Tom Brady says, he's going to be trashed from either side.
I agree.
One side's going to take him to task if he says one thing, another side's going to take him to task if he says something else. And Tom Brady is no dummy.
No, he's not.
I mean, you don't get to where he is by being stupid.
No.
He's non-committal, but the one thing he said, and this is the way he is about his players, his team, and everything else, he says, I always root for my friends. He didn't say I'm voting for you.
Right. Exactly.
He said, I always root for my friends. I mean, I saw a pass, and it reminded me immediately of a pass that Brandon LaFell missed because he stopped running, and they ran back from Philly for 100 yards. That was not Brady's fault.
No.
LaFell stopped on that play, but he would
right.
never throw him under the bus.
No, he doesn't throw any of his people.
And Brady would never throw Trump under the bus. He would never commit or not commit to him. So whatever he said, it was going to be wrong. But you got to admire him.
But it's such a big deal, too. I mean, the thing is,
he is a big deal.
No,
That's
the thing
whole
is
point.
that, do you think that, because of, all of this stuff that the Trump side of the fence is saying, oh my God, Brady's against us, or they're probably sitting there saying,
Trump's probably laughing. Trump
don't
don't care.
Exactly.
Who cares,
Nobody,
right?
Trump doesn't
and they're trying to start all this.
Did you watch the debate last night? I know it's not football.
a little
but
bit, right.
I did.
Trump is a character. It's like he
He's a
doesn't
total
really
character.
care what he says.
No,
But
he's
you know
got the
what?
thickest skin out there. I mean, he makes.
I heard him say
Plus
one
that
time,
paper, the New York, they're so far left anyway. They're so far left.
Well, the other
pushing
thing
left.
is they're saying that the reason that they have that headline too is because they're trying to spark some interest for the Jets game with the Patriots coming up. Because who are the Jets? There's nobody on the Jets that gets you excited.
No, 8-5.
I mean,
That's what they are. They haven't got.
they-
They're not
they
going to
have-
win a division because we already won it.
No, they
Exactly.
have a chance to right now. They have a chance to make the wild card spot.
Make the wild card.
Yeah.
I think we should
don't
really do
really-
Giroux a favor and beat them out of that wild card. I'd like to see that happen.
definitely. But that's always one tough game when we go there.
Yeah, they are a tough game. They're a good team.
They are a good team.
They're a very good team. I mean, Fitzpatrick's playing really well.
Yep.
They get a couple of real. I mean, look at the receiver. What's his name? Brandon Marshall.
Really
fabulous year.
He is having a great year.
So they get some of that going on. They do have a real good defense.
They do.
So, but they don't have it all together.
No, and Fitzpatrick is famous for throwing interceptions at the level.
He's not Brady.
No, he's not Brady.
No, looking forward, assuming that we kind of breeze into the first round of the playoffs, we get into the second and third, or we get into the Super Bowl. Who fears you? If you were to look down the line, and who would fear you?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is the only team out there that I would have some trepidation against, because Roethlisberger is a monster. They've got great receivers.
They do.
They're a tough football team. They're pretty good defense. Although I don't think their secondary is all that good.
No, that's a weak link on that team.
But I mean, you never know what Ben's going to do. Big Ben can have an explosive day, or he could be a complete bomb. So
he could.
That would bother me.
Yeah, and they've been hot.
They've been really
they're
hot.
What about Seattle, boy? They've turned on the afterburners too.
Seattle's on a mission.
They are on a mission. So they would scare me a little bit. We could have a repeat of the Super Bowl.
It's getting going to be interesting to see who ends up between Carolina, Seattle.
That's right.
And
Arizona.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting this week? Carolina has to go play the Giants at the Giants. So, I mean, I'd like to see them take Carolina down.
Oh, me too.
Two things could happen that I would like to see. Either that, or see the Patriots play the undefeated Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl, and see who would the Dolphins root for in that case. Who would the miserable Dolphins root for
That's
in that
a good
case?
one. That guy's still whining about a Mercury Morris. He already popped up again this year.
I know, he already popped up about it.
I have to tell you this.
Talking about the undefeated season with the Miami Dolphins, 16-0.
Yeah.
That's right.
When you watch Cam Newton play, though, I got to tell you, he's impressive. His numbers aren't statistically is like Brady's. I mean, Brady's got statistically the best numbers in the league, and he's by far, with what he's had to play with, MVP. But there's this talk about well, Cam Newton should be the MVP, and the voting I think ends today, by the way. The 15th.
Does it really?
The 15th.
Even Gronk was in that conversation.
They don't go to the 3 more games?
I don't think so. I think it's fan voting that they're talking about.
Voting?
But anyways,
go ahead. I'll follow what you say.
Watching Cam Newton, that kid can rifle that ball. He doesn't get frazzled.
No,
he's
but
a
the
very
problem
cool
is
customer.
but the problem is he's erratic.
Yeah,
because he's thrown some balls that should have been intercepted. I've seen a couple of their games, and they don't. They don't intercept him. He's good, but he makes the key throw, but he makes mistakes that they just don't take advantage of. I think we might.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know who they faced as good as the Pats. I guess it was.
That's the other thing I've heard, that they haven't played a lot of top teams this year.
I don't think so either. But
so I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah,
it'll be a good matchup.
You were talking about numbers. I know that the show has a shelf life, but. I don't know if you've gotten to see an article that was in today's Herald American by Kerry Byrne.
No.
If you get a chance to look at the Herald today, go online and Google Kerry Byrne, and today's date is December 16th. Kerry Byrne does this great breakdown of the numbers and the statistics of where the Patriots have been in the Brady era. And compares that to where the rest of the league is, where everybody else is.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
It is mind-boggling.
I can't wait to see it.
When you see all the statistics, and it was like interesting comparisons. I mean, I won't be too far from right, but it was something like, well, the Patriots have been, to the playoffs like 13 out of 15 years. 14 out of 15 years. And then they said
13 out of 15.
13 out of 15 years.
They won the division title.
And he said
they won the
something
division.
Like there are only like 13 other teams total who have been there 13. I mean, the numbers and the statistics that they have, the 4 Super Bowls, and they were talking about the wins, the playoff wins, the number of playoff games were more in the Patriots than sometimes for the league.
The
whole league. So check that out.
Yeah. I love statistics. I devour that stuff every Monday morning.
Very interesting article.
This was their 7th consecutive Eastern Division title.
Yep.
You know, they're like, to me, they're like the Yankees, and I grew up in New Jersey back in the day.
Absolutely.
They're like the Yankees of the old 60s and 50s and 60s.
Belichick and Brady.
It's just unbelievable.
As a quarterback and head coach combination, have won the division title more times than any other team in history.
Yeah, and that's part of that
13 out of
statistic
15.
there, but he breaks all those numbers down, and if you're a numbers guy, you'll like that.
In Boston, would you compare him to the Celtics of Auerbach? Although they won 11 titles.
Yeah, well, we actually we actually won more than them, didn't we? Oh, are you talking about World Championships?
World Championships, yeah.
I don't know the stats on basketball, but yeah, you'd probably have to say the Celtics.
Yeah.
Celtics were a dynasty as
because, I mean, our kids are so lucky to grow up with this, and it's like, I mean, when we were growing up, it was like the Patriots sucked for a long time. I don't know if I should say that.
Yeah, you got away with it.
Say what you want, it's your show.
No, I know, but I don't know if they can bleep it. You and Frank. But they did, and then we went through hell with the Red Sox.
I know.
The Red Sox for so many years.
Oh, next year we're going to the championship. I already heard this morning the Cubs and the Red Sox are picked first by Vegas for the World Series.
Oh, God.
Theo against John Henry again.
Wow. That would be great if that actually happened. I'd like to see them just finish in first place. Actually, even third this year would be good, right?
Get them in the playoffs. Just get them in.
We've been dying at the summer doing shows about the Red Sox.
Oh, my God. We're twiddling our thumbs.
We don't know what to talk about.
Okay, that's our recap from last week. Red Sox still stink. Red Sox still stink, but we've only got a couple of minutes left.
We do. Let's finish these Patriots
One of the reasons why we had Vinny on the show is that Vinny is a world-class musician with the harmonica and part of Boston Baked Blues. And right here in Stoughton's backyard, Vinny is going to be one of the spearheads to a great blues festival that is going to be happening at the Temple right on Central Street in Stoughton. So Vinny, why don't you pick up on that a second and just talk a little bit about that.
Okay, this is our 5th annual blues festival. We do a fundraiser for Aline Hospital in Jerusalem is part of it.
Yep.
So a good portion of the proceeds goes to helping Aline Hospital, which is near and dear to my partner and friend in crime, Rabbi Jay.
Rabbi Jay Hausman,
who runs the Temple's Heart. So it becomes combined. And every year we bring in talent. It seems like every year it escalates, and we bring in better and better talent this year. Last year we had Jerry Portnoy in here.
Yep.
World famous, Muddy Waters, Eric Clapton,
yep.
all that stuff, harmonica player. We had Rick King Russell with him, who's a spectacular blues guitar player. This year we have Jason Ritchie, the premier harmonica player of the last generation. He's a young man too. He's a dynamite player. We have you're not going to believe when you hear this guy play the harmonica. We have Aaron Harp and the Delta Swingers, touring band, not right locally out of here. We have let's see, Shorty Billups, the real deal, singing the blues. You will not. You'll feel like you're back in Chicago with Muddy Waters when you hear this guy play. He's amazing. And we have Lee Hawkins and his band. Lee's a virtuoso guitarist, local, regional blues hero. Fantastic show. And Boston Baked Blues leading the charge.
Featuring Vinny Serino, the great Vinny Serino.
Well, Vinny, we
have a couple of minutes.
Just enough time to kind of wrap this up, and we will talk more about this. And
just like to thank M&G Pizza once again for bringing us some great pizzas.
It was great.
Even Vinny likes it, and he's a pro as far as that goes.
And we also have something. If you notice, there were only 2 people on the show with hats. So, Vinny, we would like to present you with your own Patriots hat.
Oh, man,
yes. And
that's
you can
awesome.
help join us in saying, we will see you
down the road.
Thanks, guys. That's